A ver, señores. Ese cozurio por ahí. Bueno, supongo que se me escucha. Vamos a ver. Entiendo que sí. He tenido ahí una circunstancia, ¿sabéis? Con el PC. No sé qué pasa. A ver. A ver. Vamos a ver, señores. Tenemos ahí el Star Citizen Live, que obviamente pues no lo he visto. Vale, lo tenemos por aquí. Vamos a verlo con calma, chavales.
Now this is my new guy. We're not technically at 4 o'clock yet, so we haven't started. We're still on my time, people. Look at this guy. This is my newest guy. This came just today. Can you zoom in? Can you zoom in? Look at that. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Oh.
There it is. There it is. There it is. This is my new meteor in disco paint. This just arrived this morning from the tremendous Policus.
It's less blurry in real life.
It's less blurry in real life. Actually, this might be your diabetes. This is actually crystal clear. You should get your glasses checked. All right, you can go back. But yeah, so anyway, I collect all kinds of stuff. I just got into those Lego modular buildings.
Oh yeah, they
Started building those Lego modular buildings, and then I took my Sesame Street and I bought a second Sesame Street and I combined them to actually make a Sesame Street modular building that goes inside the street with all the others. Mm-hmm. And then I've gotten crazy and then I've replaced all of the sidewalks with cobblestone now. So I found a third-party vendor that was selling me like 500 of the little
Bueno, en caso de que
so
haya...
I've got all this multicolored cobblestone now instead of things. And I've just
Lego
designed...
cobblestone?
Well, no, like little cobblestone Lego
Actual
pieces.
just cobblestone pieces put onto
Just the one by one
Nice,
studs,
yeah.
the
Right.
studs and the flats and the circles and the squares and the different colors.
Yep.
You know, the
Es verdad, se me acaba de ocurrir que puedo hacer esto directamente. Claro. Un momento, chavales, que así no tengo historias. Eh, vale. Sí, pero ¿por qué no? Pero no. ¿Sabes? Un momentito. Claro. Ah, no he dicho nada.
the sand blue, the lovely sand blue. Your shirt's like a sand blue.
Great.
Shirt's like a
Love that.
lovely
There you
sand
go.
blue.
He's blending in.
But done the cobblestone. And then my next thing is I've just designed a new like Victorian style light post because the lamp posts that come with those are kind of bad.
Bueno,
So I'm going
locus.
to replace all the lamp posts and stuff. So
You just lock in with everything. You know what I mean? I've never seen you not fully 110% in something.
so
Am I about to be told off?
no. About 2.5 years ago,
Yeah.
I availed myself of the wonderful NHS and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I went and got diagnosed. And, you know, I'm going to my GP, we're doing the thing, it's like telling him about my whole life and how my life works and
Yeah.
why I don't sleep and why this. And the guy listens to me for about 15 minutes and then walks over to a little spindle, pulls out a little 3-panel pamphlet about hyperfocus ADHD and hands me this pamphlet. And there's nothing more devastating than realizing this unique snowflake that you
Yeah.
think you are is completely in a 3-panel pamphlet. It's just like, is this you? And I look at it and it's like the cheat code to my entire existence. And I'm like, oh.
Did you ever get on medication? Because I didn't want to because I worried it would fix me.
No,
You know what I mean?
I'm not on any medication. Anybody that watches
Vale, en
SCL,
cuanto
right?
digan algo que merezca la pena.
What if you're not funny anymore?
Yeah.
Like,
But that hyper focus, well, you've never been funny, so what's your concern?
I don't know. All right, projecting.
Yeah. But the hyper focus is the only way that I get anything done. All right, time to start the show? Yeah. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Star Citizen Live Q&A, FPS combat and gameplay. I'm your host, Jared Huckabee. If you've never seen Star Citizen Live before, it's where we take about an hour out of the end of our week, invite our developers on, and make them answer a whole bunch of questions. Talk about various aspects of Star Citizen, its continuing development, why this doesn't work, where are you going with this. Basically, most topics are on the table, provided the guests on the show can actually speak to them. That's usually the hardest part. A lot of the questions that people like to ask are great questions, but they're for developers who aren't on the show this week. On the show this week, we have 3 members who work on various aspects of FPS-related combat and gameplay. Not just combat stuff. It's a lot of focus on combat, but FPS gameplay extends more than that. We'll talk about items and tchotchkes and stuff like that. So let's take a few moments to introduce our people who will do their best to answer your question, starting with the person immediately to my right. Luke, tell everybody who you are and what you do for Star Citizen.
Where do I look?
You just look
Anyway.
at me. There you go.
Hi, I'm Luke Presley. I am a senior principal designer on the systems design team.
Senior
Yeah, totally looking at me.
I'm
Yeah.
just looking at him instead of the
senior
camera.
principal. No. What does senior principal mean?
It's
He's well
more
old.
senior, yeah. I get paid more.
He's part of the furniture at this point.
You have been here. Well, we've been doing this on and off for about 10 years now.
Yeah, 11.
You had hair.
I remember
Definitely
flying
not
out to
counting.
you to do
What was your first show?
it was in LA.
Ah, all right. Zach, we'll come to you in a minute. Sam, tell everybody who you are and what you do for Star Citizen.
Yeah, so I'm Sam. I'm the lead level designer in the UK, and my work is making all the wonderful locations, basically.
And the bad ones, don't.
That's true. Also, the bad ones technically.
You're the reason I get stuck on Geo, or
Depends.
okay,
Blame art. Blame art.
Yeah, it's also art as well.
okay. And Zach, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and why we're going to try really hard not to make this the last show they ever let us do.
Yeah, Rich said, right, you're coming on, no drama, no controversies. And I said, I'll try my best. And he said, well, if you do that, it's not good enough. But basically, I'm Zach. I do FPS systems. So I've done the player controller. I've done the guns that you interact with, creatures, human FPS AI, and yeah, cool stuff like that.
And tell me about who you're wearing.
Who I'm wearing. So this is a Japanese fashion designer called HER from Osaka. Very good guy. This is from Hollister, Boo. And this is from an independent fashion designer in Dublin.
Did you expect that?
I didn't actually expect them to have an answer for that. I thought I was going to get him. I was wrong. All right, so the subject of this week's show is FPS combat and gameplay. As we are wont to do sometimes, we put up a thread on Spectrum, asked you all to submit your questions, vote up the ones you wanted to see answered most. During this week, Zach, Luke, and Sam went through, selected the questions that they thought that had the best information to give. I added one or two curveballs. We researched the answers, we ran them by Rich, as he says. Just to make sure that we give you the best answer. There's a couple of questions in here that are going to have really long answers. You might notice, you see the pieces of paper on people's on the lights. I guess some of these questions were very involved, so we wanted to get some notes and make sure we provided the best information possible. So all that said, we're going to start off with this question from Star Citizen Disco Lando. Where's my goddamn Apex Battle card?
Okay, so I'm not on Creatures anymore, but I did ask the people who were on Creatures.
Oh, why not?
Oh, not because of anything bad, but because of that me doing everything is not good for development. So we've got some great new people. We've got a Creature team now that are more focused on it, don't have to share resources. Basically, working on it, dialing it in. I won't speak for their work. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's one of those. I probably shouldn't have started with this question. I just wanted to get it out of the way. Basically, it's one of those things. We've been talking about this thing for so long at this point. I was just having a conversation with the
Buenas moscas, buenas que habían dado. Maravillosa explicación que después está muteado. Sí, la verdad que estoy en horas bajas, chavales. Ha sido un día complicado. En resumen, no tenía la casa lo más ordenada posible, ¿vale? Cosa que estoy buscando un balance en mi vida a ese respecto. Y he tenido que darme prisa, ordenar un huevo, dormir poco. Ha venido el electricista a mi casa, no he encontrado el problema, seguramente pues porque se me está yendo la luz estos días y tal. O sea, estos días no, ayer a la noche se me empezó a ir la luz y ahora, como veis, estamos con luz y no he hecho absolutamente nada diferente. No he hecho nada diferente y bueno, pues básicamente es un poco eso. O sea, el problema es que tengo muchas cosas que recoger que son cajas de Birpil, Monster Tech. De Monster Tech. Tengo que recoger cosas de... O sea, tengo que pillarme una caja de tornillería y para meter todo ahí, las llaves salen y toda la mierda. Cierra, haz una para ninja y abro de nuevo. Nada, ya estoy. Ya está, chavales. Ya está. Ya. Hay que tanquear. Hay que tanquear. Si es que además tengo ganas de ver esto. O sea, la verdad que, o sea, estaba ya empezándome a doler la espalda, tío, de estar ahí recogiendo y digo, voy a parar. Básicamente. Es lo que hay, chavales. Es lo que hay. La verdad que Tengo que mirar de... No sé, aprovechando que estoy haciendo todo esto, probablemente mire de empezar a modificar esto de acá. O sea, ¿dónde está? Dame un segundo. A modificar esto de acá de alguna manera y hacer esto un poquito más. O sea, prescindir quizás del Nvidia Broadcast, ¿vale? Porque todavía sigo teniendo, ¿veis? Mira, todavía sigo teniendo... ¿Me hace el seguimiento? No, me cago en todo lo que se venía. ¿Veis? Todavía sigo teniendo esto aquí que tengo que... Lo tengo pintado de verde y la verdad que quiero igual pintarlo, no sé, de blanco. Hacerlo ya, porque al final es que esto, ponerlo así y, o sea, quiero ponerme un poquito más... Porque ahora como está, o sea, el fondo virtual lo voy a poder poner igual, ¿vale? Pero me gustaría tener esto un poquito más personalizado a mi gusto. Con unos taconcitos, sí. Uno de ellos metido por tu culo, mecano. Pero bueno, claro, estoy acostumbrado a hablar y a tener el micro en la boca. Y, y digo que lo que veis aquí, ¿no? Pues todo esto lo tengo que, no sé si pintar, si ponerle por encima como de esta movida de aislante de ruidos, ¿sabéis? Y no pintar nada. Bueno, además, esta zona de aquí también está como por la silla y tal, que choco con la parte de atrás, está jodida. Pero sí, esto fue en su momento, bueno, pues en su momento no había lo que había ahora y tenía pues un croma puesto ahí detrás. Y la gente que me habéis visto aquí desde el principio lo sabéis y al final pues acabé optando por poner este tipo de solución, ¿vale? Que es todo pintura viva hasta aquí arriba. Lo que pasa es que, claro, esto, si yo me pongo así en directo, es súper chungo. O sea, es súper chungo, tío. Sí, a colgar, y quizás lo que son las hueveras y tal, sea lo que más me llame la atención de hacer. Porque así también, de paso, pues se recoge un poquito más el sonido del ambiente. Pero también había pensado en la posibilidad de colgar una estantería chiquitita o hacer como una estantería así rollo, dejando lo que es este hueco, pero aprovechando lo que es aquella parte y tal, y, y poniendo como cosas de Star Citizen, ¿no? Porque, por ejemplo, aquí en esta esquina, esta parte de aquí, esto no lo... Esto, esto me cago en... Esto no lo estoy usando para nada, ¿vale? Entonces, igual poner aquí alguna cosita de Star Citizen ahí metida y tal, no sé. Es que es complicado, ¿no? El hacerlo aquí por la forma que tiene. Es complicado. Pero no sé, tal vez es complicado por la forma que tiene. Pero sí, quiero, sobre todo, el tema de que al final esto pues quita bastante rendimiento el fondo virtual y quizás solo quiero poner cuando me apetezca también. O sea, es que, o sea, mola tenerlo, ¿vale? Evidentemente esto mola mucho, pero... Que es una de las cosas que os he preguntado y tal, que ya que estamos aquí, buenas BJ, ya que estamos aquí, voy a preguntar otra vez. ¿Qué preferiríais que tuviera? O sea, una cosa como la tengo así, pero evidentemente sin ser verde, con cosas y tal, yo qué sé, tener por ahí los joysticks, movidas y tal, o definitivamente utilizar esto siempre. Utilizar esto así siempre. O sea, esta modalidad siempre de cámara o meter algo ahí. Que algunos habíais dicho que meter algo así personalizado y tal, pero esto, o sea, por ejemplo, no lo podría hacer tan grande, eso tendría que ser una cosa como así, ¿no? El fondo virtual es más limpio. A ver, lo bueno que tiene el fondo virtual, ¿vale? Lo bueno que tiene el fondo virtual es que mi tamaño, el tamaño de mi cara, así, ¿no? Os mola más así. Claro, y me puedo hacer yo más grande también. Ah. No sé, pero igual hacerme las dos cosas puedo hacerlas. Ese es el tema. Déjalo así, cómprate un SAI. Ya me compré un SAI y lo devolví. Me compré un SAI y lo devolví porque eso hace un ruido del demonio. Hace muchísimo ruido. Me mola más el directo con croma, ¿no? Pero si es que esto no es un croma. O sea, el fondo virtual, es lo que digo, a día de hoy, esta tecnología no depende ya de que el fondo sea verde. O sea, yo puedo poner, joder, puedo poner esto aquí, ¿vale? Lo que sea. O sea, y si le doy aquí, bueno, coño. Justo ahora, mira, ahí se está, ¿veis cómo se esconde un poco, no? Ahí, ¿veis? Ahí se esconde. O sea, si lo considera fondo, se esconde, porque lo hace por IA. Con un fondo homogéneo lo facilitas, eso es cierto. Pues no lo sé, Mosca, no lo sé. La verdad que había pensado que la alternativa podía ser meterme un palo por el culo. Pero. Dios mío. Para el tipo de directo que yo hago, lo que tengo es mejor. Sí, a ver, lo que puedo tener es también montado ahí una cámara. Cuando quiera estar de charla, me voy al salón, me pongo el sofá ahí. Si tienes más cosas tipo podcast, así un fondo bonito con estanterías o lo que sea. Yo creo que puedo hacer las dos cosas. Vamos a averiguar. O sea, porque lo que puedo hacer es como tratar de probar, ¿sabes? De probar. O sea, porque puedo poner. Me puedo poner, por ejemplo, una. Me puedo poner una cortina ahí. Algo que sea. Mira, había pensado en esto, tío. Míralo, digo. Había pensado incluso en esto, que me parecía. Me parecía interesante de cojones. ¡Ah! El puto Nico con la chaqueta de los Bandul. Haciendo de modelo. Qué, qué grande. Mira, había pensado, claro, Lesky Metal Posters, pero. Pero es que esto qué. Gastarse 100 pavos en esto, no lo veo. O sea, veo más el meterme. O sea, mirar cuánto puede valer una impresión de una imagen. A ver. Una estantería virtual. Tendría que ser algo así, a ver. ¿Dónde está? Eh, a ver, algo así. Esto todo para hacer el gilipollas, sí. Así, chavales. Hombre, no me jodas. Ya está. Ya está, ya estoy preparado para. Entonces me pongo así. Mi casa, chavales. Es mi casa. Mi casa, tío. ¿Os mola mi casa? Ya está. Ahora ahora también está. Mira, yo creo igual mejor esta, ¿eh? Espérate. A ver, sí. Yo creo que esta me gustaba en su momento. Esta yo me va a molar más. A ver qué os parece. Esta yo creo que os va a molar más, ¿no? ¿Qué opináis? Yo creo que está de puta madre. Me representa. Me representa totalmente. Y- Cielo santo. Dios. A ver, entonces seguimos con. O sea, que se cuenta, ¿no? De momento no están diciendo mucho el FPS. Se supone que tiene que decir ahí un par de milongas, un par de historias bien contadas de preguntas de FPS. Y yo le he hecho un par de preguntas. Mira, yo las preguntas que le he hecho, que a ver si las responden, es si ahora mismo tú vas a un freighter elevator en un Opus de fuera, ¿vale? Te meten un mochazo y se acabó. Te fuiste. O sea, te meten un mochazo con un NatCaf, te vas de una. O sea, si eso va a cambiar, porque no. Yo creo que no tiene sentido que una persona esté una hora llenando una nave de carga para, para ir a un Opus y que le metan un mochazo en la cabeza y se le acabe la fiesta. O sea, por un rata que está metido ahí en. Yo qué sé, tío. ¿Dónde? O sea, eso no tiene sentido. Tiene que dar tiempo a reaccionar a una represalia por parte del atacado. O sea, para mí, para mi gusto. Y luego el hecho de otra pregunta, que es el estilo de combate. ¿Cómo es el estilo de combate en esta Citizen? Yo la verdad que ahora mismo pues hemos pasado por varias fases. Yo tengo la esperanza, a nivel personal, tengo la esperanza de que sea un combate que tenga su proceso, no que sea un Call of Frutas o un Fortnite, ¿no? Que respeto a la gente que le gusta ese tipo de gameplay, pero yo busco otra cosa. Busco un estilo un poquito más tirando hacia Tarkov, hacia esas partidas que se jugaban con el Battlefield 1, que te mataban de un tiro, la gente utilizaba las coberturas. O sea, quiero algo que sea un poquito más táctico y sobre todo que, en general, por llevar armadura, pues los personajes no mueran tan rápido. Es cierto que ahora con el crafteo, estuve viendo, por ejemplo, con el crafteo, pasamos de tener un 40% de reducción de daño a un 46% menos de daño. ¿Vale? Lo que pasa es que, claro, esto hay que mirar porque al final, por un lado, las armaduras reciben menos daño, pero por otro lado, las armas, pues, hacen tienen más constancia en el daño, ¿no? Porque al final, pues, se le mejoran las stats, etcétera. Entonces, yo la verdad que a mí me gustaría que con el crafteo, pues, una armadura pudiese llegar al 60% de reducción de daño, 65, 70. 70 me parecería la polla, o sea, en el sentido de que tenga durabilidad, que tenga una serie de cosas, que que eso se vaya gastando, que haya pues parecido a cómo funcionan las naves un poco, ¿no? Pero si un tío va a un HErBiZiDA y tal, y va tanqueando y va abriendo camino, pues que ese tío, mm, tú ves que te va a meter un palo por el culo y te lo va a meter, tío, porque va a una puta Juggernaut en la que tiene la visión medio tapada y que tiene que llevar un, yo qué sé, una sonda metida en el culo porque no se puede sacar el traje ni para acá. O sea, que tiene el tío va pues forzadísimo y gastando un montón de bebida y de agua. O sea, es en plan, es un tío que se dedica a eso. Entonces, yo quiero ver eso en el juego. Quiero ver ese tipo de cosas, ¿no? Nos hablaron de las especializaciones y tal. Yo quiero ver un equipo especializado de asalto. Quiero que en general, que se aplique un poquito lo que es a la conclusión que se llegó en, en World of Warcraft, ¿no? O sea, en World of Warcraft se llegó a la conclusión de que para poder hacer PvP en las arenas necesitaban el temple. ¿Por qué? Bueno, pues porque si no, no daba tiempo a los jugadores a tener una estrategia, a reaccionar, a recuperarse, a remontar. Entonces, eso es lo que un poquito me gustaría ver en Star Citizen. Creo que si tú estás haciendo una expedición y estás yendo en una Polaris con tu clan y de repente te encuentras una situación de que hay otra Polaris y, o que hay otro tipo de nave o que te hacen un bloqueo, etcétera, ¿vale? Entonces, una vez llegados a ese punto, después de toda la vivencia que has tenido, qué pena que se acabe en un asalto que puede durar, no llega al minuto, no llega al minuto, ¿no? O sea, realmente un asalto bien hecho no llega al minuto. La resolución, para bien o para mal, ¿no? Pero no llega al minuto. Entonces yo creo que se desperdicia mucho, o se va a desperdiciar mucho ese tipo de sensación de saber que estás en una situación de estrés porque te están intentando entrar, pero también nos tienen que dejar disfrutar de esa situación de estrés, ¿no? Es algo que realmente si los personajes no aguantan, pues no hay manera de verlo, ¿no? O sea, eh, el ejemplo yo creo más fácil es eh, de que esto pues sería algo positivo, es por ejemplo en el caso de un minero, ¿no? Una persona que está minando y que su actividad principal es la minería, no va a estar acostumbrado a combatir y por tanto la sensación digamos, de desarrollar la actividad del combate le va a ser más ajena a una persona que está combatiendo todo el día. Pero la experiencia que va a tener ese señor es que de repente está minando y de repente ya no, ¿no? Si le asaltan la nave, pues es visto y no visto. Entonces, yo creo que está bien, o sea, no vamos a poner una persona solo, porque al final una persona solo, pues vamos a poner una rastra, ¿no? Que asaltar una rastra, pues yo creo que la gente de a bordo debería poder tener, pues efectivamente, debería tener algún tipo de traje, armadura disponible para poder ponerse en ese momento al asalto y, y que pudiesen aguantar, que pudiesen aguantar. O sea, a mí me gustaría que un rifirrafe de un asalto, cuando digo rifirrafe digo bueno, que la gente juegue sus cartas, trate de apuntar a las partes más importantes del enemigo y que eso vaya debilitando hasta que llegue un punto en que, bueno, pues los enemigos se queden sin blindaje, por así decirlo, y se pueda tratar de apañar, ¿no? Se pueda tratar de entrar por la fuerza, ¿no? Forzar esa entrada. Pero me gustaría que por lo menos durase, pues, 5 minutos, 6 minutos el asalto, ¿no? Un asalto de 5 minutos es una pasada. O sea, un asalto de 5 minutos en una rastra, un asalto de 5 minutos en una Polaris, es muy disfrutable, ¿vale? Estamos hablando del asalto, es decir, en el momento desde que entras en la puerta, ¿vale? O sea, llegas a la puerta, la mecánica de forzarla, de lo que sea, tal, a entrar a bordo de la nave. O sea, a mí me encantaría eso, ¿no? Porque además, 5 minutos estamos hablando de que tienes que pelear, tienes que asegurar las zonas, va a haber pasilleo, va a haber... A mí me gustaría mucho ver eso. Me gustaría mucho ver eso, ¿no? Eso es el resumen. Entonces, dicho esto, a ver qué es lo que nos han contado en el tema del FPS, ese Joker.
Newly minted creature team and whatnot. And it's the expectations on this are now from being first introduced in 2016, from
Yeah.
being brought back again in 2023,
Yeah.
whatnot. We've come really close to getting it where we wanted, but then there's just something that doesn't make it feel right. There's something that doesn't quite make it the apex experience we've been looking for. So they're still working, and I think you spent this amount of time on it, you want to be sure you get it right, or at least have the best chance of getting it right.
It's easier to make an FPS boss fight because there's a lot of context that you can refer to and you know it works. Name me a game where you have multiple people in multiple spaceships fighting a humongous worm and how you make that fun and
Air and on
that's
ground.
on a
Vale, disculpad chicos, teléfono.
In an MMO with a huge planet with the servers, yeah. So
Yeah, it's somebody. Hold on. Beardshire has used their opportunity to be a first-time chatter and said vaporware.
Good.
No, still working on it. It's just wanting to make sure it's everything we want it to be. Next question. You keep saying you know the med gun is wildly OP and then never doing.
Vale, esto es importante. Lo primero, está hablando del Apex, del Valacar Apex, ¿vale? Que dice que todavía no está a la altura. Supongo que quieren sacar. Yo estaba comentando el tema de los servidores. Yo creo que están esperando a la experiencia del Dynamics sobre Mesh, porque la verdad que es un mundo abierto. O sea, imaginaros. O sea, no sé lo que es un Apex Valacar haciendo la T, pero. Buf.
Anything to fix it. What's the plan for making medics actually relevant in the game long term, as it's a profession
¿Qué pasa con la medicina y que la pistola médica está OP? Es lo que está hablando ahora.
slated for 1.0, but is currently entirely useless?
So, we're aware that the med gun is very strong at the moment. We've commented on it before, and obviously with crafting upcoming, there's going to be lots of balance changes, there's going to be lots of weapon adjustments and things like that, and we're looking to address it then. But more importantly, on the road to 1.0, the medic profession, all of that is slated in to be locked in, get lots of improvements on, lots of new features with, and things like that. So, medics right now, sure, but medics on the road to 1.0 will get a lot more breadth and depth with the things that they can do.
I'll go into the medic armor in my monologue as well.
Oh yeah, you've got a big long section here coming up, so we'll get into that. Sam, this question is probably right up your alley.
You'd hope.
Can you address the lack of level
Somos conscientes, va a recibir ajustes la pistola, es lo que ha dicho. Va a recibir ajustes la pistola y que para 1.0 tienen pensadas cosas para la medicina.
design that facilitates FPS PvP? We're just getting right into the questions here. And remember, they picked the question, so they're not shying away from the tougher topics here. Could you address the lack of level design that facilitates FPS PvP? To explain, even the contested zones separate people. Blue doors, timer, separate people out, making it hard to run into people. All the other places are worse. A lot of places are very linear and choke pointy in their level design, making them not play well for PV, PvE, SC sandbox scenarios. What do you have to say?
So a lot of our older locations were built with just a lot less level design resource, essentially. But what we're trying to do now is that, obviously this game is very heavy on PvE. There's always going to be PvP. That's never going to stop. And we've started building locations basically intended for PvE. And those locations are always going to be more linear. They're always going to be more set up for that. And when instancing comes online, that's not going to be a problem for everyone else either. You're going to go to a location and you know it's only going to be you. So you're going to enjoy your PvE gameplay. When it comes to PvE or PvP locations, with the bigger level design team now, we can actually focus on making sure that there are multiple entrances. The sightlines are actually cared for and ensured that it makes sense for multiple teams coming in from different angles. And that we just make sure that cover placement and all of that sort of stuff is up to scratch, basically.
The LD team's a lot bigger now as well,
Yes.
compared to where it was like 2 years ago.
We've gained 6 people in the last year.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't think it's inappropriate to say that level design was probably underserved.
Yes.
Está comentando el tema de el diseño en general de los mapas y lo que es la facilidad o a la hora de, bueno, cosas que nosotros hemos hablado, ¿no? De, joder, hay una puerta, tal, para poder hacer PvP pasa esto. O sea, ¿por qué no se abre la puerta de seguido? Porque no está siempre abierta para poder tener señales con la gente, ¿no? Resumen. Tenían menos gente, ahora tienen más peña para poder hacer en el equipo del Level Design Team, que básicamente es la gente que hace los outposts y las ubicaciones y todo. Y entonces que pues ahora tienen 6 personas más y que también tienen más herramientas y que, bueno, pues mejorar en ese aspecto.
Previous years of Star Citizen's development. Why that is, variety of reasons, but it's been recognized in the last 12 months, and the rectification is in process. Like you said, is it doubled Is it? It's probably more than doubled at this point.
I think it's about doubled now.
Yeah.
We still got a few more coming, but
Yeah. So we recognized this challenge early on. We recognized we weren't doing enough to support it, and the fix for that is underway. I just saw a review of Starkitect locations on Tuesday, and you could see right away. I'm like, oh, these immediately look different than the stuff. Not just with the visual stuff. I'm talking about the layout, with the amount of cover points, with the amount of interior, exterior, combined, cover spaces where you're half inside, half outside. Lots of moving in, moving out, and stuff like this. The big towers, to make snipers incredibly deadly and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot more effort. There's a lot more effort going in, and I think the stuff we have coming down the pipe, Rockcracker, and then going forward, the new Siege of Wars and the Municipal Works are going to benefit from that renewed focus on level design.
Same as the Starkitect stuff as well in the future.
Yep. There's always going to be a gadgets question. Any progress on gadgets like trip sensors, scanners, remote detonated charges, and so on?
So I've got an answer, and it has the word Squadron 42 in, so I'm going to read it off the page. Currently, we have the deployable shield, breaching charge, and some other bits in Squadron 42, and do plan on shipping that in the PU in the future. We also have an area denial grenade coming this year as well. We plan to add more gadgets in the future, and we do like doing some surprise community wants, like the binoculars, which are much asked for.
That's cool.
Bueno, lo que estaba diciendo ahora, que el tema del escudo, del suelo y otros gadgets, otros accesorios y tal para el combate que van a venir en el futuro. Y también he estado comentando y colando un tema sobre el Star Architect, que sabéis que el Star Architect pues, es la herramienta de creación procedural de edificaciones en los planetas de Star Citizen, ¿de acuerdo? Y dice que lo que son las travesías, que le ha sorprendido mucho, las entradas, salidas, la combinación de elementos exteriores con interiores en lo que son los decorados y el uso la posibilidad de uso de diferentes coberturas, así como también puestos elevados como las torretas para disfrutar de los rifles de francotirador. Y que pinta de puta madre, está diciendo. Así que veremos a ver qué pasa este año.
Luke, this might be wrong. I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing. What plans are there to make clothing serve a purpose when an undersuit and armor is better in almost every way?
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, clothing is never going to have the same fulfill the same purpose as those things. But it's never going to be space worthy. But we are, working on combat clothing, which will have more damage mitigation. So if you want to imagine a kind of John Wick style suit, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think the main problem now is that it's one or the other. You have to wear clothes or you have to wear armor, right? And that's where Star Wars is going to come in and change all that, because the purpose of clothing is cosmetic. It's to dress, the way you want to look. So to just go into that in a bit more detail, you'll be able to, with Starwear, have your undersuit on if you want it, and then put certain, jackets over the top, all the jackets, certain trousers, gloves, boots on the top, then armor on the top of that, and then, in future, we're going to have hoods and big overcoats that can go over some of the armors too. So all these layers.
It's like we said at SitCon as well, there will be areas where you can't wear armor, so clothing and all that will have particular uses and things like that.
We've talked about that in the past, like locations that prohibit it, and you have to kind of turn things into customs. So you wearing I don't think we're going to ever block an undersuit in that scenario, but it's probably more useful to wear the kind of combat clothing we were talking about.
There's never been an MMO where cosmetics isn't the end game.
Yeah, a couple of people in chat were right away. Fashion Citizen is endgame.
Someone said, "Is Zach showing us?"
Está hablando del tema de las ropas y tal, y dice, vamos a ser honestos, la ropa nunca va a ser más tocha que el undersuit y la armadura en el verso. Y dice, bueno, hay alguna sección en la que se va a prohibir el uso de la armadura y que entonces el llevar ropajes puede ser interesante y que luego con el estar con el Starware, que sabéis que es la tecnología que nos presentaron en la con y tal, que bueno, pues que con eso pues podremos poner ropajes encima de algunas armaduras y tal, o algunos ropajes, o entre ellos pues capas y movidas que están... esas capas o el capote, ¿no? Lo mítico que te envuelve entero y tal, y capuchas y movidas así. Entonces ya veremos. Un segundito, voy a cerrar la ventana.
Starware.
Possibly. A very early iteration. No, but it's it cannot be overstated. I'm really glad you brought that up. We've Chris, other people have mentioned for years that this idea of wanting to facilitate the wearing of clothing as opposed to armor. He hates that everybody wears armor everywhere. So this will always be kind of a goal at some point to go to. When I first saw the outfit scanners that were part of a Stormbreaker, the ones where it forced you to change into the scientist outfit in order to open the door. Like, I was really excited about what that means for the future. Forcing people to switch into outfits as opposed to armors in order to infiltrate something. The gameplay options there were really exciting. And so like this. So yeah, it's combat clothing is a bit interesting though. I heard the term and I didn't realize not full.
Está comentando ahí algo interesante, ¿no? Es el tema de. Dice que siempre hablando tal y Chris no quiere que todo el mundo vaya con armadura a todos lados y tal, y quiere que vaya de otra manera. Y dice Lando, dice ya Jacob, que ya cuando vi lo del tema de tener que ponerse el traje de globito, el traje de científico para infiltrarse y tal, que me gustó mucho y tal. Con las posibilidades de futuro, ¿no?
On John Wick kind of thing.
Wait, not bulletproof.
Yeah.
No, but some decent mitigation. Not to the point of being
We're
better than light.
There's 1,000 years in the future.
Yeah,
There's going to be clothing that's a little better than what it is today, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to ask one more question before we go to Luke and his treatise here. Are there plans to add spatialization for sound in FPS? I think sound plays a major role in combat, but currently we can't locate our enemies or tell if they're wearing heavy or light armor.
Yes, I think this one was for me, but was it for me or
No,
was it
it's
for
for
you?
me.
It's not for
It's
me.
for you.
Oh, that's one for
Oh, there you go. Well, that's why I don't have it written
So
down.
I'm just going to talk for hours.
Go on, perfect.
Yeah, I've talked to the audio team, and they're really keen on enjoying this armory factor, reworking what we've got so far, so that if you're wearing a heavy suit, you actually sound extremely heavy. But like beyond that, they really want to have the wearer feel that they're in a heavy, suit. So if you're wearing that massive radiation suit, you'll feel isolated, like everything will be muffled around you as well.
Están hablando del tema de las armaduras. Si por llevar armadura ligera, pesada o tal, si van a hacer hincapié o van a explayarse más en el tema del sonido. Y que el tipo de armadura que lleves eso afecte, ¿no? Y una de las cosas que está diciendo es que está hablando con el equipo de audio para hacer, por ejemplo, el traje de globito y tal. Que dice, pues traje de radiación y tal, que te aísle del exterior también el sonido y tal, y eso es un malo huevo.
And I'm like,
O sea, que no solo, que tú por llevar algo, pues te condicione, ¿no? Eso es lo que me encanta. O sea, me encanta la idea.
generated this big list of audio I want to hear specifically on, like the stealth suit that we're going to be having. Like that wants to be the quietest sounding, because no matter what like emissions it gives out and all that stuff under the hood, if you can hear your feet squeaking against the floor as you run, sneak up behind someone, that's really off-putting. So it's really important to nail all that.
It's also worth pointing out that footsteps have gone through a big iteration in Squadron as well, in terms of like when you sprint in SC right now, it's, you get essentially you have the heel down and the foot forward making a noise, but now it's just one foot plan. It's also reading the context of the environment as well. So if you're on like railings, it will make railing noises and things like that. So we've gone from like a generic footstep noise to an environmental context noise.
I was just thinking, I bought these really nice pair of Jordan 1 comforts. It's the classic Jordan 1, but the sole's been redesigned for maximum comfort, and it's got this little like triangle shape cut out at the bottom, which is supposed to be great. But because I don't walk normally, like my gait is weird, that little triangle makes a suction sound when I walk. So I got really excited to wear them. They look great. They're super comfortable. When I came to the office, it's like Every time I walk in, it's just, I don't wear them because
They're indoor shoes now.
I can't. And I get other people to check them out. I look online. Nobody else has this problem. It's just I walk wrong.
Is there a leaflet for that?
I don't know. No, not for that one.
If you want to sell them, there's some people who pay good money.
When weapons like the pulverizer have a slowdown effect from having them equipped on
Pues sí, básicamente que quieren hacer un tema de que al correr incluso, que no es lo mismo que apoyar primero un pie y luego otro, que apoyar la planta entera, ese tipo de cosas. O sea que vamos a tener cositas como el sonido y también armaduras de sigilo que se escuchen poco o que sean imperceptibles, ¿no? Ese tipo de gameplay.
the back. Are there plans to give them weapon inertia as well, as in they handle slower than other weapons?
So just to start off that, they don't have a slowdown effect. They just weigh a lot. And depending on how much weight you have on your character moves slower. So we don't do like, oh, this gives you a 20% movement speed debuff just because you have this weapon on. It's systemic, there's weight. The more weight you have, the more you slow down. But yeah, go on, with the weapon inertia. Do you want to handle it? Because I can.
Well, the thing is, I thought this had come last, so I thought I'd have done my spiel on.
So one thing we're talking about with the armor work is essentially having it so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the heavier the weapon is, the more weapon inertia you get. So if you've got heavier arms, it's easier to handle heavier weapons. So if you're wearing like light arms and you have an LMG, you'll essentially have a lot more weapon sway. Think with the Fresnel, how long that takes to correct the sight picture. That's an example of something that, you know, if you had light and you picked up heavy, it's a way of saying, cool, do you want to fit in the archetype, that fantasy of being like, oh, I'm a super heavy armor wearing, I've got my LMG, I'm walking in a location, versus like, oh, I'm light and I've got a pistol. Because as you know, in real life, the shorter the barrel of a weapon is, the lighter it is, the easier it is to move around. Like I was talking to Luke about this, and the reason why pirates always have short swords is because if they're on boats and they're killing people close, that's why they have short swords. That's why people clear runes with like pistols and SMGs and things like that.
All right, we're going to get to your question. Since it sets up, I want to preface this. This is actually 3 questions.
Yeah, it is 3 questions I'm answering here.
It is 3 questions. So, you got your notes, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, I want to show you. Can you see this? This is the notes for this next question. This is all one question here. It goes on to the next page.
Dios.
It's all more question. Yeah. It's that much. You wrote that much, Luke. So.
Hey, we're bringing content. You know what I mean?
So at this point, I'm going to ask these questions, and then Sam, Zach, and
Está comentando el tema de las armas y de la pulverizer y de que tengan penalizaciones. Con respecto a otras armas, digo al final que es una cuestión que no es un arma que dé un debuffo, sino que depende de la masa. Que es algo sistemático.
I are going to go get a beer.
Can you get me one?
Okay. All right.
No.
So these are 3 questions. 3 questions that all have one combined answer. Okay. Question 1. How will the upcoming armor rework make it so armor choice is more diverse? Question 2. What benefits are planned for players who wear light and medium armor in PvP and high-end PvE environments versus heavy armor? Currently, the movement bonus obviously doesn't typically offset the damage reduction of heavy armor. And question 3. With the addition of crafting armor coming, what's the progress on armor functionality? Armor roles like tank, recon, heavy scanning, stuff like that. All right. You ready?
I am.
You ready?
Buah. ¿Cuál es el progreso de las especializaciones de las armaduras y motivos por el cual utilizar una ligera o una mediana por encima de una pesada?
All right. We should give. We don't have like a single camera for Luke, do we? Oh, we do. There we go. Excellent.
Which one is it? There we go. Okay, so progress is going great.
Finished.
That's it.
It's something I'm actively working on, and we've had multiple reviews to decide which stats I'm actually going to be able to play with. Because one thing we don't want to do is ruin the game, like make it unbearable, you know, by just making things worse. So there's lots of things we're doing to like improve things as well.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me
Well,
not
you
to
look
say
so
something.
skeptical.
I'm going to bed.
I had something so snarky I wanted to say right there, but you
Okay.
go ahead. You mean?
Like design-wise, I think we're like 90% there. I've just got to pitch some of the non-systemic perks. You know, the perks you get for wearing a full suit of armor and stuff.
Right.
Because we've got most of our the perks are actually quite systemic. So for stealth suit, actually each piece like blocks the emissions of your body and stuff. So like you have to have a full thing, and then suddenly you're stealthy. But the perks where you have to make something up, like I don't know. I'll give like being able to.
Well, it's if
I'm
you,
not-
like, let's say if you have a full
You know,
stealth suit, right, you might get like a massive bonus to hiding your emissions.
Yeah.
Like as an example, something that makes
But-
sense within the context of the armor.
Something that's more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it's the more gimmicky things I'll
full set
say
bonus type
that
stuff,
I don't really want to go into it because I'm not a pitch fan. But right. So our main aims with the armory factor are to give players reason to wear flight suits, light, medium, and heavy armors. Give players reasons to wear the combat versus utility armors, because that's been a big distinction now, the two of those. To give players a reason to change armors based on their intent, and that's for specializations we were talking about in six.
Está hablando de varias cosas. Se quiere dar distinción de lo que vienen siendo armaduras de utilidad y armaduras de combate. También, obviamente, temas de combinación y tal, pero bueno, que fundamentalmente, pues, el tema de sonidos y de tal, de producción de sonidos, que eso puede que, pues que va a haber, o sea, que no es algo que sea un beneficio del set, ¿no? Un pero del set, sino que es algo que cada pieza pues oculta emisión y bueno, pues que eso, al juntarlas todas, pues consigues el beneficio óptimo, ¿no?
Con 2 years ago.
Y también el tema de que la gente pueda estar intercambiándose armaduras y tal, que es una de las cosas dependiendo de la tarea.
So I'll go into some of those later. And then give individual armor pieces a purpose, so that arms aren't just useless cosmetics and stuff. Each piece of the armor has stats with it that you don't get with the others. So like for me, and I think for you as well, like the most important things is nailing those weight classes.
Yeah,
The feel of those weight classes.
It's very much so. Like last time I heard, it's about the legs, and you get you get mass reduction, right? That's so if you have heavy legs on, then your overall mass gets reduced because it's easier to walk and things like that. So it's like you don't just become instantly a tank because you've got the thing on. It's like, cool, I've got these legs. I don't want to be weighed down too much. I want to be able to move faster, still my heavy, but that'll have other offsets, obviously.
Almost like a exo suit.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the support that it gives. Right now, we have this funny situation where if you were wearing entirely heavy armor, you had a full backpack on, all the attachments, and then you took your leg armor off and you just had naked legs. I mean, in real life, you'd crumple under that weight. But in the game now, you are faster because you weigh less.
Yeah.
And that's obviously something we want to get rid of. So like if we focus in on that, like the way we're going to make lights versus mediums versus heavies and flight suits, like very different and actually a choice you make is.
Vale, o sea, quieren deshacerse del hecho de que la gente puede ir con combinaciones de armadura en plan armadura pesada en el pecho y tal, y ir sin pantalones y que vaya toda hostia. O sea, quieren deshacerse de eso.
Beyond what they are right now.
Beyond where they are now, yeah.
Which gets obviously offset with crafting and the improvements that come with weapons. So.
Yeah, so me and Deck, who was on crafting, are in this interesting situation where obviously you only have between 0 and 100 to play with, and we're having to meter out and share the percentages we can go up. Yeah. So I can go up to this, and then crafting will take you up to this. Yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to have to take into account.
You can build better weapons, and you have to be able to build better armors.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. It's a constant arms race, yeah.
Or you just hit them with
or a legs race.
Or a legs race. The combat crosshair, which is it's going to primarily be on combat suits and helmets. So not everyone is getting that anymore, which is kind of the way it's done right now until we figured out. Flip the page. The ability to have your MFDs cast to the visor, which I think everyone has right now when they sit in the ship, that's going to be for flight-specific helmets. And ship handling as well will be impacted by...
Ojito, los MFDs de las naves solo se verán con los cascos específicos para pilotar.
wearing medium or heavy armors. So that means that your inputs are slower. So if you make a hard turn, it will take it slower if you've got medium and heavy armor on.
G-force resistance.
And G-force as well will be lower in those suits, so you'll pass out quicker. We're also increasing the G-force tolerance in things like the combat and racing flight suits, so it's not all just a negative. FPS radar, when that comes, that's going to make a huge difference. It's between the weight classes for a start, because bigger things, they're noisier. You'll hear them on your passive radar.
A good example is combat helmets are seen as the default right now because they're the main archetype that we have online, but that will make more noises and emissions. So you'll get less feedback, but then you'll obviously be quiet and less picked up by radar and scanning and things like that.
Yeah, if you wear lights, like you'll all have the same strength radar, but being light gives you the ability to get so many meters closer before you're picked up. And we keep alluding to this, but I'd say the most important feature is the mass mitigation. And that affects the weight affecting the player. Like you weigh more, obviously, the whole thing together weighs more, but if you have like heavy arms and then a heavy core and heavy legs, and then you've got a railgun in your arms, right? That'll be fully supported, no added weight to the player. But then if you start taking pieces off or making them like a lesser weight, that will start, like the percentage that those arms can take will get less and less. Like, if you take your legs off, like it doesn't matter what your arms can lift because your legs are still taking the weight of that thing completely.
It's very nitty gritty, this obviously, but we still do have like high level archetypes as well. So like things like having like medic armor and things like that are
this is way
this is in the weeds, but we also do have the high level ideas of like different combat armors, different like we have the scanning armor and things like that. What's it called, the hunter armor? Hunter armor and things like that, which obviously we're like way better at scanning and things like that. So there's some like very high level, easy to understand stuff, and then you have this stuff which is down in like the nitty gritty weeds of it.
Yeah. Like reducing the amount of times you're going to see somebody in a hospital gown carrying around a railgun.
Exactly.
So if you want to be able to keep a railgun up and on your shoulder and use it, you're going to need to actually increase the mass of your armor in order to have that
benefit.
Interesante, está diciendo de que, bueno, si tenemos una armadura pesada y empezamos a sacar piezas, que de alguna manera las piernas nuestras tendrán que sostener ese peso, ¿no? Como que la armadura va a poder sostener su propio peso. Entonces eso también influirá a la hora de apuntar con railgun o con movidas en la posición del jugador, que se vaya para adelante, se vaya para abajo y tal, o movidas así, ¿no? O sea, eso está bastante bien.
The support system, to you, so make it possible for you to carry it.
Yeah. And finally, this is finally on
this is point. Not finally, by the way.
No.
You have and finally written in here 3 times.
Yep.
Luke, this is not and finally.
This is
not and finally.
And finally on the weight class, right? Because this is what we're talking about. Weight classes, they span all of these.
Muy bueno, si el límite de una serie de que no, el límite se pone pues haciendo balanceo y probando. Ensayo, error.
Archetypes and that, like you can have a heavy medic maybe. So EVA, controversial maybe. EVA will be removed from undersuits as it is now, so everybody having it, and put on some but not all flight suits and cores, and we'll be introducing an EVA backpack for those who don't have EVA built into the suit, or if you do have EVA built into your suit and you just want more fuel and more oxygen, you can also put that on as well.
It's you're basically adding a whole lot of choice, basically a whole lot of tactical decisions between what you wear. It's not just going to be about rule of cool. You have to understand the situation that you're going into and the best loadout for that situation. Not just bringing the right weapons, but soon or when the time comes.
If you know you're going into like fact that you're Mondi, you might want to bring people with like more medic suits, for example, because you're going to have to heal each other more and things like that.
Of course, if you don't have...
No todos los trajes no van a poder hacer EVA, lo estoy diciendo. Y van a haber una mochila especializada para los trajes que no puedan hacer EVA, que se la puedan equipar y puedan hacer la tarea.
So that's weight classes. There's a difference between combat and utility. Like That's a big difference, and that's mainly down to the mass mitigation, which you'll have more of on the utility. That will mean that, like, combat armors are lighter to start with, right? But the moment you start loading them up, they get slower. Whereas utility armors start heavier, and then the more you load them up, the more they can take. So you kind of keep the speed you're running at with those.
Okay.
Whereas if you streamline yourself in combat, you'll always be faster. And also,
I assume there's different types of utility armor then.
yeah, there's loads. Yeah, which I will jump to now then. Right, flight suits. We've got racing flight suits, amazing G-force resistance, really good environmental resistances. So, if you're racing in a car on all kinds of planets, you'll be fine.
And I hear that's the flight suits getting their G-force resistance is not necessarily a far away thing.
No, I think Yoga's working on it very soon.
Yeah.
But they have no radar. They're like super stripped down, no EVA, and really poor damage mitigation because they're basically just kind of levers. Combat flight suits, which do have EVA, they have better damage mitigation, bigger inventory, but slightly reduced G-force and poor environmental resistances because they're made for space, right? Then you've got the combat armors. You've got the assault armors, which make up the majority of our armors right now.
Because if you want to put new stuff out, you've got to have a crosshair at the minute, otherwise it doesn't
O sea
feel
que-
as impactful. But obviously that'll be revisited
Lo que
when
está
we...
diciendo, básicamente, vamos a tener de carreras, trajes de carreras, que van a tener el tema de que van a tener mejores Gs y todo esto. Luego vamos a tener trajes de vuelo de FPS, o sea, de vuelo normal, que van a tener un poquito más de resistencia al daño, un poquito más de inventario, pero que tendrán menos Gs. Y que además los trajes de carrera están preparados también para resistir las condiciones atmosféricas duras. O sea, rollo, estás en un, pues eso, en un MTC, no, en un STV o en un Cyclone o algo así, que vas a poder tener.
R and EM.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not resource. They do not have resources, so you're not going to be finding minables with those. Stealth armors, again, we've talked about. They reduced emissions and sounds. What are you reading the red pen?
I haven't seen how much is left.
No, just that. The hunter armors we've talked about is the only combat armor to have EVA, and it has an amazing radar for finding people. They'll see you coming more though, and it has less damage mitigation. Utility armors. Right, I'm going to actually breeze through these because I
Donde
don't...
Hunter, buen radar, te van a ver. Buenas capacidades de EVA para encontrar a gente guay, pero poca reducción de daño.
Do a scan, it will show you the health of people around you and various other things, and it can locate downed players from much further away, like specifically, that's its thing.
So if you have
right?
medic armor.
Yeah, so if you do a scan, you're going to pick up the down players that you wouldn't normally pick up just by IR and EM.
Okay.
Yeah, there's engineers, and they can reveal the position.
Vas a poder escanear peña que normalmente no vas a poder escanear con otros trajes desde más distancia y todo el tema, con la de Bounty Hunter.
Resource specialists, these are like the salvagers and miners. We have an amazing resource radar, and hopefully we'll reveal details about minables that you would otherwise have to go up to and scan, like from a distance.
So you can be on the surface or whatever, scan, send your ping out and see the things. You don't have to go to it to find out.
I'd say it's more for being in caves where there's that kind of distance. It's still a distance to go, but if you scan and then focus on a rock that is like 50 meters away, you might get some more information than that otherwise you would have to. Yep. And then you've got the Explorer, which is like the jack of all trades. It's got kind of good utility. It's got the crosshair, it's got good environmental resistances, and it can scan resources. Its damage resistance is fine, but it's not a combat armor. And then you've got all the other kind of very specialist things. You've got EVA, heat, cold, and radiation, and they hopefully speak for themselves.
Thank you for everyone who's still here.
No, I really.
Luego tenemos otras especialidades. Están, ¿cuánto ha dicho? Minería, Bounty Hunter, de carreras, de piloto, de armaduras de EVA, armaduras también de combate, obviamente, lo ha dicho, de combate FPS, pesadas. Armaduras de radiación, de calor y frío.
Yeah.
I appreciate this, Luke. It's
It's a huge spreadsheet. It took me forever.
yeah. How is the? Obviously, we've been talking about some aspects of what you've been talking about, which you just talked about. We've been talking about for 2 years now.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you want to give like a general progress? I'm not saying a when. Don't answer a when question.
Like I say, I think like 90% of it's done, and maybe even more. I've got a few more things to clear when it comes to those perks. The things that make them stand out, and again, a little gimmicky, right? All this that I've talked about is signed off, right? Once I've got those perks sorted, it's just off to code to do estimates, and then we see where it fits.
Okay. So still in the design phase.
Still in the design phase. I've run this all by code, and they like have ballparked it, but
yeah. Okay. Sam, how has the new focus on dungeon-style content, we call them operations, but the question says dungeon-style content, changed design goals for FPS gameplay?
So the quick answer is they haven't, really. We've changed what content we are trying to make currently, because before we started making the dungeons, we didn't really have any. And we've been taking a lot of time to try and start constructing these more defined locations where we want to take players through an experience. But that doesn't mean that we're going to stop making any of the other sort of more contested zones, PvP-oriented areas. That's still very much a thing that we're focused on. It's just we're trying to counteract the amount of content that is just general outposts versus defined experiences. We want to basically go from where previously we made locations to show off features to just making locations that make use of features, or just cool locations. Because I wanted to make a big ring station that you can ride a gondola around, so I did it, and that's coming out this month.
It's so sick.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Rockcracker. It's a little off the topic here. But, folks who are in PTU, are seeing that there's essentially at this moment there are 3 kind of different versions of these breaker stations.
Yeah.
There's ones that don't currently have a rock in them, and those will be for a variety of sandbox missions that actually come online about 2 weeks after 4.7 releases.
Yep.
So 4.7 will release hopefully towards the end of this month, and then about 2 weeks later there'll be another content drop that releases an entirely new suite of mission content that will utilize these 3rd versions of breaker stations. I realize I'm starting on 3.
Yeah.
But then there are 2 versions of the breaker stations that have these giant, enormous rocks in the center, and one is more like a contested zone kind of thing. It's like players have seen with Line of Mine and Stormbreaker and stuff. It is, you get the mission and everybody has these locations. They're on your star maps. You go and it's
The contested ones aren't on your star maps.
the contested ones aren't on the star maps.
No. So the way they work is that we have multiple instances, basically. Not instances.
Yeah, you can't use that word yet.
Not instances in actual instance, but a version of the mission that's at a location. And so basically 5 groups of players can go to each one at a time. And we have multiple locations that they can go to. And the expectation is that you should be taken to one where someone else is, and you should fight for the stuff, basically.
So that's a bit more chaos in those
Yes.
ones. A bit more of that
It's for people who want to do PvP and who don't want to spend the high price of entry for the exclusive ones.
And that brings us to the third one, which are these exclusive ones.
Yes.
These ones are also not available on the star map. You have to earn the right to purchase the locations to these versions of the breaker stations, and those allow for only the people you share them with have it. So a true PvE experience at these places. So it's a neat evolution of what we were doing last year and learning the lessons we learned last year, and always trying something new and stuff like that. So these 3 different versions of these breaker stations that are coming in 4.7 are pretty exciting, and always trying something new. It's
definitely.
Yeah, with ASD, or with the Onyx facilities, we dropped roughly 600 of them, across planets. Always trying different things to see how to give something for.
Nada, está hablando un poquito de lo que es las estaciones que hubo, ¿no? Que va a haber 3 versiones. Que es algo que ya nos han dicho un poco. O sea, vamos a tener la versión de misiones, no tiene nada para romper. ¿Vale? Luego tenemos otras 2 que son las que estuvimos haciendo, una que es exclusiva, que pagas 850.000, eso puedo cambiar. Y otra que tienes 100 y pico mil, 175 creo que era. Y que esa sí que sería PvP y es como una especie de contester y tal. Y es lo que está metido ahora, que se espera, pues, hombre, yo es lo que digo, que dice que además es como una especie de... Como la misión esta que había de chatarra, que había un montón de naves ahí para chatarrar y tal, y que le podían pedir X personas la misión. Dice que es para 5 personas pueden pillar la misión. O sea, una vez la pillan, pues la podrán compartir. Y ya está. Se supone que son eventos que están preparados para de 4 a 6 personas, me parece que era.
Everybody.
Yeah, we basically wanted to make sure that people who only want PvE should be able to get that, and people who want to fight for stuff can fight for stuff if they so desire.
Yeah. Now the flip side of that is that there won't always be a PvE version available.
Not always, but we've placed a decent amount of them.
Yeah. So, and those are the kind of things we'll continue to tune throughout PTU and stuff like that. And it will continue to evolve as the game goes on.
The rewards also got better. I improved them today.
Oh, nice. Anything you want to tell us about? Or?
Not specifically. Go find it.
Okay. Zach,
Yes.
this question, version available,
Not always.
version available
Not
to you and stuff like that. And it will continue to evolve as the game goes on.
The rewards also got better. I improved them today.
Oh, nice.
Las recompensas también son mejores, las han mejorado hoy. ¿Pero a qué se refiere? ¿Se refiere a las zonas PvE, PvP versus PvP o la zona en general?
Anything you want to tell us about? Or?
Not specifically. Go find it.
Okay. Zach,
Yes.
this question,
Is this the doozy?
well, I don't know what you think is a doozy,
Yeah.
Okay.
but this question has come up
Okay.
on and off every year since it was first introduced as a concept back in 2013 when Shroud of the Avatar came online.
Right.
2013, 2014, I can't remember. Back with Richard Gary and Portalarium and stuff.
Too long.
This question is simply, how is the crossbow coming along?
Okay, so this was the first year
La
that I
ballesta.
got to basically plan out all the weapons, and the first one on the list, obviously, that always gets mentioned is the crossbow. So I can confirm that the crossbow is coming this year. The main reason I think that we got that crossbow was because Rich is an original Shroud of the Avatar backer, so he is very interested in getting his skin. So yes, crossbow this year. But I also want to tease some other cool weapons. I want to go over.
Before we move off the crossbow,
Go on.
it's not just going to be available to the folks who pledge for whatever level of Shroud of the Avatar. There are versions of it going
Yes,
into loot for
I
everybody.
believe they get a specific skin
Yes.
if they were Shroud of the Avatar
Yes,
backer.
but the
So-
crossbow, a weapon this cool, is going to be made available to everybody who plays Star Citizen today, either through loot or through a bundle or whatever, or if you did pledge at those specific Shroud of the Avatar levels, that specific a skin, and the process of how you claim those will be made available to you when it comes time to add it to the game.
Yeah. So cooler than the new guns. There is one with space blanking, like we said, space AK.
Are you just gonna move on to other new weapons?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Crossbow's a crossbow.
No, talk us about more.
Yeah, so there's space blank, which is space kind of based on a real gun sort of thing that people really like. We got loads of people like the space AK. We've got a lever action rifle. We've got.
You're adding more space versions of existing weapons.
Yes.
Okay, so like you did with the space AK.
Correct.
There's going to be a space something or other.
Yeah.
You don't want to reveal it right now.
No, because it's very cool and it's something that people mention a lot, and I think it's fun to find out. But just a little tease.
Like Space Godzilla.
Yeah, Space Godzilla, exactly.
Okay.
Or Mecha Godzilla.
A real thing.
Yeah.
Space Godzilla's a real thing.
Medgun pistol. I'm very excited.
Sorry.
Medgun pistol. We have a bullpup rifle.
Shoot your enemies.
You're glossing over this stuff. This is a med gun that.
I want to leave it at that. I want to say the name of it, and then as it comes out, you'll see like, okay,
All right, so you're being intentionally obtuse.
yeah, basically.
All right, send your letters
You've
to
met me
Zach
before.
Priest, care of 6 Manchester Goods Yard.
Yeah.
All right, so med gun pistol.
Medgun pistol, bullpup rifle, lever action rifle, and some more cool stuff later on as well. So that's some cool stuff that's coming this year. And well,
Ashley
sorry, let me
talking.
be clear. Our intention is that those things come this year. And yeah, there's some other stuff that's not just it. Like we also spoke about, we've said, we'll
Está comentando diferentes armas que van a venir, que las iremos enseñando, o sea, y también he dicho Medgun Pistol, no sé a lo que se refiere. Habrá que ver cómo es eso, porque tampoco quiero decir nada.
on an area denial grenade. We know that gadgets and utility are big requests and things like that. But those are the things that I want to tease now. There's more than that. As we delivered a lot of weapons last year, we want to also deliver a lot of weapon content this year as well.
Like he just casually dropped, there's going to be a lever action, a 30th century lever action. Right.
Oh, the plan is that it's gonna have evolving geo as well.
Evolving
You switch
levers?
the fire modes and stuff like that. So leaning into like taking it, making it really cool and sci-fi.
And your intention is for this to come. All these ones that you mentioned. Intention.
Intention.
We all know how game
Yeah, yeah.
development works, but the intention is for all of these to arrive this year.
Yes. And some more other cool stuff we planned out this year in terms of like looking how much we delivered last year. What can we deliver this year that is exciting and is, really fun?
Okay. He actually printed up some pictures.
Look, I wanted to do it. I had some pictures printed out here, and I was going to say, which one do you want to know about, chat?
Okay.
And then,
You do have the close-up.
I'll let you. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me one you want to show.
okay,
Just give me one
okay.
you want to show.
There's a really dumb.
super-
You know what the top one is, but this is a hint.
No, over here because we got the close-up
You
camera.
got it.
Okay, okay.
Come here, bring it to me.
Go on,
Don't drop your microphone.
I won't. There you are. So there's a hint on the bottom of what it is.
A hint.
Yeah.
This
hint
is the picture. Go to the close-up. Go ahead. Let's see if it works. Okay. This is what he this is what he brought. So this is I'm assuming a space lever action
Space lever action,
and some railroad tracks.
and you'll have to figure out what that one is.
A fence.
No, come back.
Oh, you want me to pick it up? Oh no, don't sit on
No,
it.
just go sit down.
Okay.
Sit down.
Jared, no.
Sit down. In Saint 666
Yeah, someone
says
got it.
dumbest thing ever.
Someone got it.
Mom? Okay.
And that one is stocked, not shouldered as well.
Chat, you got it.
How did they get it? I just, you know what?
We are not subtle.
Geniuses.
I can't believe that my puzzle was horrifically obvious.
It's not a level designer.
Speaking about a MedPen gun, can we have the MedPen automatically switch back to the gun after being injected, like it already happens in Arena Commander?
Yes, that's one of the options that we do want to add.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next week or?
Sooner than you hope, but further than you'd expect.
Bueno, Pablo.
Good.
Sometimes I say things that get me in trouble, and sometimes I say things that I want to say things that would really get me in trouble.
Game development.
Let's see. Any progress on FPS item wear and tear, like armor tear or weapon misfire?
Yes. So in terms of weapon malfunctions and weapon overheating, every single weapon has that in Squadron at the minute. So every single weapon jams, every single weapon, well, the weapons that can overheat do overheat. That is fully implemented in Squadron 42, and it will be coming to the PC
Cada una de las armas de Escuadrón 42 se calienta, se atasca, tiene fallas, tiene... Ok.
in the future.
Y el PU en el futuro.
Okay. I'm gonna guess this is you, Sam. Would it be possible to climb more stuff?
Yeah. Basically.
Oh, there's more to this, like SU boxes, ramps, and elevators.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I, was
like,
just,
it's
like,
all
I
the
thought
fun
this
ledge
person
markers.
just likes to go into the soft play.
It's
It's like,
we want to climb everything.
is it possible to climb more stuff?
Yes, essentially. A lot of older content still probably won't be able to climb as much, but as we have a much larger level design team now, we are able to make more stuff climbable and also design stuff that's more traversal
Ahora que
oriented.
tenemos más gente,
Automated
más
tools got a
cosas
lot better as well.
claimeables.
Automated cover generation is now a thing. So level designers don't have to go and manually place a couple of points as well.
that was
which is
awful.
very nice.
Madre mía,
Still have to
¿cómo estoy
double
hoy?
check it though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't know. Don't turn it all over to
Cansado,
the machine
cansado.
like Amazon did.
yeah, exactly.
What is the status on swimming?
Fully implemented in Squadron 42 will be coming to the PU in the future.
El nadar está implementado completamente en Escuadrón 42.
We've said fully implemented in Squadron 42 a couple times.
Yes.
How different is FPS in Squadron? Yes, he's going for the paper.
Going for the paper. Rich said, don't get in trouble. He's like, I'll allow you to answer this one if you're not going to get in trouble.
Okay.
Now I've got to find it.
Challenge impossible.
So
Oh, God.
the question is, I'll cover for him while he searches for his paper. How different is FPS in Squadron 42 compared to Star Citizen, and what lessons from polishing there can we expect to come to Star Citizen?
Okay, so there has basically been a lot of work on the player character. So from minor things in terms of like the how actions automate into each other. So we have something called the sprint toggle now, which is the default, which essentially means like if I'm sprinting and I shoot, I have sprint to fire, so I don't start shooting when I'm down here. It comes back up, it's natural, it feels good. Even the new sprint pose, which is like up here, which includes like head bob. All of these things massively improve the experience that
Que eso de correr y tal, que vas a correr con el arma así levantada y tal, y que no va a ser tan fácil apuntar como...
you get to as you play the games. Like previously when we were doing in 2023, when we showed off all the FPS improvements at SitCon, where you think like backpack reloading, you think like ammo repooling and things like that. We're waiting on these things in Squadron and obviously polishing them up for the release. And all of the things that we are working on in Squadron will come to the PU in future. The action matrix is the biggest one. We've got like sprinting while reloading. We've really been spending a lot of time dialing in that FPS experience and making it feel really polished. And even like sprinting now, like it's a really big thing for me because the gun goes down here, it goes off screen, you can't see it. When it's up here and you feel like you're running and things like that, it just feels a lot more polished. It's very nice. It's the FPS experience basically has been dialed in a lot more. There is a bunch of stuff which escapes the top of my head right now. But
You have your notes.
I accidentally deleted the question. I realized.
Oh, you want to come over here?
Yeah, go on.
Come over here.
Go on.
Yeah,
Yeah, because this was one I had to ask Rich for very nicely.
There you go. Go ahead.
Thank you I get to sit in the chair.
Yeah, go sit in the chair.
Perfect.
You've been good today.
There you go. So yeah, as we said, with movement accelerations, melee improvements, that's a big one. So hey, you're not randomly going to go in front of you anymore. It's there's nicer animations there. How it follows up feels better. Weapons having consistent slots. So for people who have to constantly switch around and do those things, I know it's very annoying, but that is now like cool. I have weapon 1, I have weapon 2. They have consistent slots. Yeah, the action matrix. Oh yeah, for example, sprinting and med penning now, if you press sprint, you press your med pen button, your med pen, then you automatically go back to sprinting. So sprint toggle, beautiful. And yeah, my favorite one, weapon raise 2.0. So as you know right now, if you go up to a surface, you do this. We now have a procedural back like that, and it's very, very nice. We've also moved the pushback point to the optic. So for people who want to aim over railings and shoot over railings, you can now do that. Yeah, I mean, the FPS experience overall is far more smoother to play. FPS AI has basically been overhauled. Francesco Riccucci and Chris Roberts have been themselves very involved in that process as well. Chris has been very keen on making the AI experience in Squadron, so they've been working very closely together. Entirely new audio setup for guns. The guns sound absolutely amazing. The audio work on them has been incredible, not just the sound that you hear, but also the mixing. So that's basically how loud shots are, how they feel. So if someone's down the other hallway and they're firing, it sounds like they're down the hallway, and it is honestly gorgeous.
Hostia. Vale, está hablando sonidos de las armas y tal espectaculares, refiriéndose a Escuadrón, que eso todo va bien en el PU. El tema del comportamiento del arma, que está diciendo que ahora que en vez de, si nos ponemos a una pared, en vez de hacer esto, que hacer algo procedural como de ponerlo así y tal, que es algo que se hace mucho, pues poner así el arma, ¿no? De lado, en vez de tener, ¿sabéis? Levantarla y esas movidas. Al tema de tirarse un medpen, que vamos a ir corriendo y tal, y luego sigues corriendo, ¿no? Ese tipo de cosas.
And yeah, all of that is planned to come to the persistent universe.
Y todo eso está planeado para que venga el universo persistente.
He's
Can I-
better than you.
Perfect.
He didn't even have his eye line right. He kept looking at himself on the screen.
How can I not look at
You gotta
myself?
look at the camera like this, see? You gotta look down the camera
Yeah.
like this. But he spent the entire time, he wasn't talking to you, he was talking to himself the whole time.
We've got a question in here. What?
No. Go back. Don't trip over stuff.
I'll try.
All right. Good job, Zach.
Thank you.
Oh, you kicked my cable out.
Oh, damn.
It's all right. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh shit.
I give you a topic.
Okay.
No.
All good.
We are almost out of time. We can squeeze a couple more in these. Why is the boom tube dealing so much damage?
Okay, this is, Rich told me to be very careful with this one as well, but I actually do have this one written down. Because Rich said you can't say, oh, it's not. So why is the boom tube dealing so much damage? Well, basically, as we said, we're going to be looking at balance, we're going to be looking at damage and those things, especially with crafting coming more online, especially with armor coming more online, like you said, with the heavy armor, with the mass resistance and things like that. But the hardest thing with the boom tube, obviously, is the diversity of vehicles in the game. The diversity of the health between a light fighter, a ground vehicle, a heavy vehicle is, you know, it's a complicated game, especially when you mix all those things together. But most importantly, this is something we're looking at. I've already come up with a couple of ideas of what we want to do, like increasing the arming distance. Like there was a clip on Reddit recently where someone just shot it in a ship and the ship blew up because they were raiding on. But yeah, so it's something we're looking at and keeping an eye on. You know, if you take a boom tube into an encounter, you're sacrificing a weapon slot. You're sacrificing the ability to, you know, fight other people, fight other NPCs. So it's a heavy cost versus the reward you get for how slow the projectile is and how much spread it has.
We're also doing a bit of a refactor on the way explosions deal damage to actors, because right now an explosion deals 6 times the damage to the player because it hits their head, arms, legs, body. So you have to balance it weirdly, like so that one explosion would do like just 100 damage to that table, but to you would do 600 damage. So it's really hard to balance. So we're making it so that any explosion will do 100 damage to the player. Divided by, depends where it hits them, to how much damage they take, and it'll still just do 100 damage to an object.
Okay. Is med penning yourself in a down state still a planned feature?
Yes, that is still a planned feature, and the plan is to move it to the Adrena pen. So basically, if you get downed, you'll enter a down but not out state. That's also fully implemented in Squadron. But Squadron has expensive self-revive pens. It's obviously MMO, single-player game. But yes, so that is still planned. And let me just check my notes, see if there's any other caveats there. But
You'll be an Adrena pen for rezzing other players as well.
yes, that's the other bit. You'll need the Adrena pen for other people.
Me gusta. Para poder levantar peña vas a necesitar el Adrena Pen y también te vas a poder levantar a ti mismo. Esa parte no sé si me gusta tanto, pero esperemos que con la pistola médica no se pueda y que realmente necesitamos llevar un adrenapen.
Yeah, so you can crawl around on the floor, traditional down but not out.
What is impact force in crafting?
Damage.
Is there anything planned to make something stronger than heavy armor?
Yes.
Yep.
Super heavy?
Super heavy armor. Vamos a
And that is not just a new armor set either. That comes with a lot of restrictions, specific weapon classes, and things like that. So I think one of the things is you're not going to be able to heal yourself.
Yep, you're not going to be able to heal yourself. You're going to have
Tantas
a
restricciones,
super
tal,
heavy
pones
weapon.
armadura.
Yeah.
But you can use other weapons. It'll just be,
Yeah.
why would you in this extremely
Yeah.
restricted thing? It's all about, you need the support. Like, because while you're there and you've got the big gun, you're unstoppable. But the moment people start chipping away your health, if you can't pull out that pen and heal yourself, you need a teammate there. Otherwise, you're going to very quickly become vulnerable.
Like a medic archetype of some kind.
One of
crazy.
those, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That pretty much does it for today's show, guys. Thank you so much. I do want to address something in the chat here. A lot of questions in chat, rightfully so, about desync. There's probably no greater challenge that's affecting FPS combat and gameplay today than desync. The reason Luke, Zach, and Sam aren't talking about it today is because they're designers. They do not work in the network coding, the server infrastructure, any of the areas where desync rests. To that end, I'm going to go ahead and volunteer our own Chief Technology Officer, Benoit Beauséjour, and I'm doing this right now on the fly. He doesn't know about it. It's not a gag. I'm seriously doing it. So if it doesn't happen, you can blame me and not him. Benoit used to do these big, long posts on Spectrum where he'd walk through one major technical issue or another. I'm going to walk out of here and ask him to do that for desync. It's not a conversation that I think super works in conversation like this. He's also one of the only people at the level to have the full overview and umbrella look at everything involved that contributes to it. So I'm going to ask him, and I'm going to go ahead and commit him and say yes right now. I still have one or two favors to call in. So I don't know when that's going to happen, but he's here. He lands here on Saturday. The first time I see him, I'm going to ask him to make this a priority and see if we can't get this going. Because I agree with you. I think it's an important thing. And I think the best way for us to talk about it is probably in a detailed post where, people can reread and read the information and parse the information. So we'll see how successful I am at that. But my promise to you is that I'm going to try.
Sí,
and
total.
Benoit is a pretty good dude. So I imagine it'll happen. All right, with that, that's Star Citizen Live. Thanks for watching. We've had a nice little streak of Star Citizen Lives. This is either our 4th or our 5th episode in a row. Next week, we're back with an episode of Inside Star Citizen, looking at a bunch of the various content that's coming with Alpha 4.7, as stated, targeted for the end of this month, available for PTU now. You can help us, as always, getting into PTU and helping us test and beat on the pipes and make issue council reports and everything. Yeah, sorry. I'm realizing that I just signed Benoit up for a thing, and I'm already thinking about what I'm going to have to say. Nobody say anything publicly until he hears it from me. Like, I'm realizing he's now going to see it on Reddit or something before.
There is 2 days before you're, I guess, depends what time on Saturday.
Hold on.
Canada's a few days behind though.
Hold on. We're gonna throw a Hail Mary, guys.
At Benoit in the chat.
Stay with me. We're gonna try calling him right now.
Okay.
Why not?
What time is it in Canada? Are they awake?
It's Montreal, right?
Yeah.
That's
Teams would like access to the camera. Have I
5
never
hours
been to
behind?
Teams
Oh,
call?
wait, no, it's 4, I think, right now because of the daylight savings.
Oh yeah. That'll be all right.
Let's see if he picks up. I'm not, it's not a gag. We're calling. We're going to try. Hi, Benoit. Can you hear me? Oh, hold on. I mute in case. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Hi,
Yes.
we are live on Star Citizen Live right now.
Sweet. What's going on?
We just did a show about FPS combat and gameplay, and the overwhelming topic in chat was about desync.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I volunteered. Remember those big long posts you used to do on Spectrum about a really important topic?
Yeah.
I volunteered you to make one of those.
Okay.
And then
On these things specifically.
yeah, on desync specifically, and what's causing it, and what our efforts to fix it. And
It's all good.
I realized I didn't want you to hear about it on Reddit first.
Okay, cool. So just a deep dive.
Just a deep dive on desync and why it's happening.
All things desync and networking.
Yeah, I think it's important.
How hard can
Sounds
it be?
good. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear that? Can you say that again?
We're good. I'll do it.
All right. Thank you, Benoit.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
He's never taken a call from you again.
Yeah.
He's never answering a call from me ever. That's it, chat. I just used up the last stroke I got. Thanks for watching. See you on Inside Star Citizen next week. Take care. Check out the weekly newsletter tomorrow. There's something cool in there too. Bye.
Hey.
Vale, ya está. La parte final y tal. Dice que nos van a hacer un post de la polla mundial enorme sobre el desync, que se la ha pedido a Benoit en caliente y que bueno. Y que mañana estemos atentos porque va a haber algo bastante chulo en el sneak peek, supongo. Se refiere. Y ya estaría. El tema de la armadura pesada, lo que ha dicho es eso. Tener una armadura pesada que le sea muy difícil, súper pesada, ¿no? Que le sea difícil curarse a sí mismo, que tengas otra persona que te cure y tal. Y hablando ahí del rol médico dedicado, bla, bla, no sé qué. Bueno, ya veremos. Ya veremos, chavales. Madre mía. Buenas micro por ahí. Uf. A ver, o sea, no he visto ni el Spectrum. Es que no lo he visto. No lo puedo ni ver. Wave Stress Tonight. O sea que este fin de lo van a abrir para todo el mundo ya. Bien. Este fin de lo abrirán para todos. Buena plaza. Yo creo que este fin de sí lo abrirán para todos. Seré capaz de jugar. Llevo como, no sé, intentando hacer la QB demasiadas veces. He intentado esta mañana. Se me dio la luz. Y ahora parece que está aguantando la luz. Bueno, vamos a ver. De momento. De momento parece que va bene. Va bene. Ahí está. ¡Qué rico hacer! ¿Qué pasa, jefe? Hostia, justo lo acaban de tirar. No me funciona. Tengo 1900. ¿A ti te gustan los artículos caros, GPS?
Los artículos caros y la bolsa de... ¿Cómo era? De... La bolsa de Gucci. Puede ser Gucci, no me acuerdo. Pero es Gucci, ¿no? No, Goya, Goya. La bolsa de Goya. Estaba Goya. Goya era la bolsa. La bolsa de Goya del cabrón que tiene ahí empaquetado un buen material, cabrón, esas bolsas. Si el Goya tiene que ser bueno, efectivamente. Efectivamente. Habrá que ver a ver de qué va eso. No sabemos. No. No creo que haya guay. Que sí que igual voy a zampar algo así en la cocina y le meto mano. Pero es que tengo que reclamarla.
Can I help you with something? Yeah. Why buy something?
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.
Corse.
Your vehicle has
No.
been moved to our storage facility.
La Corse.
Your insurance claim.
Ajá, sí.
Please visit us again.
If it ain't one thing, it's another.
Pretty
Can I get you anything?
Hey, that's just how this big old verse works, right? For better or worse, things just keep on
Anything
turning.
new in membership's going to lapse soon. I haven't needed to mine anything in years, so just kind of let it slip. Weird though. Growing up, that seemed like the coolest, but I've just been busy with other opportunities, you know? Can't keep your head in the tunnels, my dad used to say.
Whatever it is you want.
On the deal of the century. Thinking about packing up everything, heading in somewhere beautiful fresh. What's up on your end? How are things with you?
So how you been? You good?
What's new with you?
Been looking to put together another haul, but credits are a bit tight.
Qué guapo, tío.
What's on your end? Pulling a few bosses
O sea, cómo
on the
están
side.
evolucionando los NPCs. Qué puta locura, tío.
You don't say.
Qué locura. La conversación que están teniendo ahí por la puta cara.
Hi. Welcome.
how this
They
big
don't
old
know if
verse
it's
works,
stolen
right?
or what, but it might as well
Better
have
or
grown
worse?
legs and walked out of the hangar for as much as they know. It's downright
Been looking
frustrating.
to put together another haul, but credits are a bit tight.
That's life for you.
So, pulling a few hustles on the side.
Come on in.
Supongo que este tipo es el centro de anclaje para que se sientan.
Can I help you with something?
How are things with you?
Y ahora que me levanto, ocuparán el banco.
You alright?
They don't know if
Anything
it's
happening?
stolen or what, but it might as well have grown legs and
Got
walked
another
out of the
contract
hangar for
snake
as
from
much
me
as
by
they know.
Trevor. We stay on this path, and I
Frustrating
swear we'll have
is.
words. I'll never begrudge anyone for making a living, but
I hope everything works out.
Ahora vengo, voy a la cocina. Mientras hace eso,
How's life
igual lo
been
vemos.
treating you? You don't say.
what's up on your end? That's how it goes, I guess.
Hello?
Tossing on the deal of the century. Anything happening?
Days like today remind me why I left
You want
Terra.
a bit out of it.
I got this call
My
from
sister
my
just
mum and she's...
enlisted in the Navy.
Look,
We were supposed
she
to do
means
everything
well,
on
but
settlement, but I guess
best
she
at
changed her
expressing
mind.
it. She just comes off as
should've
very
told me.
self-righteous,
Not sure what I'm gonna do now.
dismissive of anything that's not simpatico with her worldview.
How about you? You good?
Anything specific you're interested in?
Another day then.
What's a good word?
Decided to take a few days for myself.
I hope
I'm not
everything
setting
works
an
out.
alarm or planning anything. Just gonna let the day take me where it takes
What's
me.
up on your end?
Feels like I've been going non-stop recently.
One of my
and it's
friends
starting
just
to
told me
wear
about
on
this
me.
huge deposit they spotted while out scanning. If everything goes according to plan, the two of us are going to go half in on an
Pretty
extractor,
wild.
which should make some decent profit.
How are you getting by?
You know, just been out there living that life in the rhinestone, looking for opportunities. That's what you gotta do these days. You gotta make your own magic, because let me tell you, ain't no one gonna help you with your future. You gotta do it.
Gotta take things a day at a time, right?
Welcome. Feel free to look around.
Stay sharp. There's a lot of crazies out
life been
today.
treating you?
I need to spend some time on my gear. It's been
Wanted
too
to
long
put it
since
like
I've
that
done a
myself,
proper clean
but
up
I
my
get what you
armor and
mean.
weapons. That's the one thing I miss about the army. Kept me disciplined enough to keep everything tip-top. Feels like I haven't seen you in ages. What have you been doing? Rest of your
Well,
business, I guess.
That's life. If it ain't one thing, it's another.
Anything new in your world?
Right. That's just how this
Just
big old
another day,
verse
then.
works, right? For better or worse, let's just keep on turning.
Come on in.
It's good for you.
So tell me a bit about what's going on with you.
If it ain't one thing, it's another.
I've been thinking about packing up everything.
It's just how
heading
this
out
big
somewhere
old
new
verse
for a fresh
works,
start.
right?
Figure all I need
Better
is a
or
few
worse?
resources, and I can just fabricate anything else I
Wanted
need.
to put it like that
I feel
myself,
like it'd do
but
myself
I get
some
what
good
you
to
mean.
get back to basics.
Anything specific you're interested in?
So, anyway, what's going on with you?
One of my friends just told me about this huge deposit he spotted while I was scanning. Everything goes according to plan. The two of us are going to go half in on an extractor, which makes it a decent profit.
How are things with you?
It's been a bit of a week waiting for the shipment to arrive. They don't know if it was stolen or what, but it might as well have grown legs and walked out of the hangar for as much as they know. It's downright frustrating is what it is.
That's how it goes, I guess.
Why buy something when you can just take up space for free?
Alright, some other time then. You're not going to find me.
Why buy something when you can just take up space for anything in particular?
Where you going?
You keeping busy? Well, that's life. One of my friends just told me about this huge deposit he spotted while I was scanning. Everything goes according to plan. The two of us are going to go half in on an extractor.
Been up to
much
much?
on it. Sure. But I guess when your kids nearly dropped out to join a gang, you gotta celebrate any wins you can get.
Alright, some other time then. You're not going to find me.
How's life been treating you?
You keeping busy?
Been looking to put
I hope
together
everything
a
works
haul,
out.
but credits are a bit tight at the moment, so pulling a few hustles on the side.
Can I help you with something?
Stay sharp. There's more crazies outside.
Where you going?
What's new with you?
How you been? You good?
Feeling a bit out of it. My sister just enlisted in the Navy.
One thing, it's another.
We were supposed to start up our own settlement, but I guess she changed her mind.
It's just how this big old verse works,
She
right?
told me. Not
Better
sure
or
what I'm gonna do
worse?
now. I've been thinking about packing up everything,
Well,
heading out
that's
somewhere
the way
new
it
for a
goes.
fresh start. Figure all I need is a few
Price doing
resources, and I
business,
can
I
just
guess.
fabricate anything else I need. I feel like it'd do my soul some good to get back to basics.
Ya estoy por acá. Me voy a zampar un ramen negro.
Alright, some other time then. You're not going to find me.
No, estoy sin cenar.
How about you? You good?
Feeling a bit out of it.
Just
My
another day
sister just
then?
enlisted in the Navy. We were supposed
Eso
to
por ahí
start
que han
up our
perdido
own
millones de créditos.
settlement,
Puede
but I
ser,
guess she
oye.
changed her
Got word
mind.
there's been some commotion in the next sector.
Igual hay alguna mierda relacionada, vete tú a saber.
It
Uf.
was just lovely.
Igual quema de más,
Spend too much on it? Sure. But
Mm.
I guess when your kids nearly
Voy a tener que hacer
dropped out
cochinadas
to
y
join a
sorber.
gang,
Vais a que la cama.
you gotta celebrate any wins you can get.
Sí, sí.
That's a good word. Well, that's life. Keeping busy.
Mhm.
I hope everything works out.
Passing on the deal of the century.
Quema de más. Quema de más, pero es que así es el puto ramen, o sea, es que... ¿Quién me mandaría?
So tell me a bit about what's going on with you.
Casi la lío, chavales. Casi se me desequilibra todo esto. Veo por la
That's the way it
siguiente.
goes, right?
Been looking to put together another haul, but credits are a bit tight. So, pulling a few buses on the side.
Why buy something when you can just take up space for free? Hey, let me know if you need anything.
Ya estoy, sí, me falta fuerza, joder. Es que hoy al mediodía no he comido nada. No he comido nada de nada. Quiero ir a ver cosas y tal, pero necesito comer primero, chavales. Si no, me muero. Me muero. Sí, tengo debilidad, tío. O sea, necesito energía.
I hear Admiral Bishop eats a bowl every morning too, if you can believe it. No wonder those
Necesito fucking energía.
You alright?
Hey, let me know if you need anything.
That's how it goes, I guess.
What's new with you? You don't say.
Welcome. Feel free to look around. Howdy. Anything specific you're interested in?
How's life been treating you? Wanted to put it like that myself, but I get what you mean.
How are things with you?
Ahora acabo de comer y le damos durísimo, a ver.
You looking for anything in particular? Welcome. Feel free to look around.
So tell me a bit about what's going on with you.
Been on a bad streak
Wanted to put
lately,
it like that
but my
myself,
luck's due to
but I
turn
get what
any
you
day
mean.
now. Some psychic's finally coughed up, which will help clear out my debt. And keep me with a little left over, so yeah, feel like things are looking up.
What's up on your end?
what's new with you?
One of my friends just told me about
Wanted
this
to put it
huge
like that
deposit
myself,
spotted while I was
but I
scanning.
get what you mean.
Everything goes according to plan. The two of us are going to go half in on an extractor, which should make some decent profit.
Why buy something when you can just take up space?
So tell me a bit about what's going on.
Feels like I haven't seen you in ages. What have you been doing?
So, anyway, what's going on with you?
Price of doing business, I guess.
You looking for anything in particular?
I've been thinking about packing up everything, heading out somewhere new for a fresh start. Figure all I need is a few resources and I can just fabricate anything else I need. I feel like it'd do my soul some good to get back to basics.
I need to spend some time on my gear. It's been too long since I've done a
Lucky I need
proper
customers.
clean of my armor and weapons. It's the one thing I miss about the army. Kept me disciplined enough to keep everything tip top.
Why buy something when you can just take up space for free?
Feeling a bit out of it. My sister just enlisted in the Navy. We were supposed to start
Hi.
my friends just told me about this huge deposit they spotted while I was scanning. She would have told me. Everything goes according to plan. The two of us are going to go half in on an extractor,
You know,
which makes some
just been out
decent
there living
profit.
that life in rhinestone
Oh,
opportunities.
no, that is interesting.
That's what you gotta do these days. You gotta make your own magic, because let me tell you, ain't no one gonna help you with your future. You gotta do it.
You keeping busy?
I think my guild membership's gonna lapse soon. I haven't needed to mine anything in years, so just kind of let it slip. Weird though, growing up, that seemed like the coolest, but I've just been busy with other opportunities, you know? Can't keep your head in the tunnels, my dad used to say.
Good shift so far?
Well,
Been looking into getting
that's
one
life
of those
for
light
you.
adjusters that automatically compensates bullet drop based on the atmosphere sampling. No idea how the hell it works, but it's pretty insane tech.
Not sure if you heard, but the
Anything new
shift's
in
got
your world?
extended.
You're looking good, been up to much?
Welcome. Hi.
Can I get you anything?
Hi.
How you been? You good? You know, just been out there living that life in rhinestone opportunities. That's what you gotta do these days. You gotta make your own magic, because let me tell you, ain't no one gonna help you with your future. You gotta do it.
Lucky I need customers.
So it goes, right? Tell you. I've got things happening. Big things. Kind of things that turn a regular guy into a legend. You know what I mean?
Can I help you with something?
Hello.
Howdy. Good to have you.
Vale. Ya.
Busy?
Frenado, operativo.
I've got things happening. Big things. Kind of things that turn a regular guy into a
Listo.
legend.
Why buy
Ah.
something when you can just take up space for free?
Listo. Sí, bueno, cajas ahí. Vale, chavales. Vale, sí.
Haven't been up to much. I've got things happening. Big things.
Uf.
Kind of thing you
Sí,
don't
me da
really
mucho.
particular.
Ninguna misión, tío. Estaba pensando que, bueno, esta mañana he descubierto una cosa. ¿Vale? Esta mañana he descubierto una web. Hmm. La peña está, pero a fuego, tío. He descubierto esta web. ¿No? En esta web os aparecen las armas FPS, todo esto, ¿no? Y ponemos aquí. Y nos dice las misiones que nos pueden dar esta recompensa. Entonces, aquí estamos haciendo cosas como, por ejemplo, ¿vale? Estamos haciendo cosas como, por ejemplo, tenemos la P6. Que según esto, pues solo se puede conseguir a través de CFP, la receta. Está guay porque también con esto de un plumazo podemos ver, pues, qué es lo que... Claro, 20% más de daño. O sea... uf. Es una burrada. %, pero 20% más de daño. Luego está también el scalpel, en el caso de Headhunters. Ahí está. Ahí está la movida, ¿no? 20% de más daño. El 97. Sin más. Entonces, yo estaba llegando a la conclusión, digo, joder, sabemos que tenemos todas esas reputaciones ahí, ¿no? Y entonces, ¿qué hago? Tendré que subir reputaciones en el live. Porque aquí no hay nada más que ver. O sea, está lo de las QB y tal, hacer el evento, obviamente. ¿Vale? Pero ya está. Ya está, o sea, todo lo que craftear y todo eso. Evidentemente hay que salir a minar. Pero lo que podemos hacer de provecho es subir las reputaciones. No, porque las zonas nuevas como que las hemos visto ya, ¿no? Realmente las zonas nuevas las hemos visto ya. Y es eso. Igual subir las reputaciones. Voy a mirar a ver qué tengo. Voy a mirar a ver qué tengo. Vamos a ver las reputaciones en general, a ver cómo están. Porque estoy igual, me voy a poner a subir una reputación para enseñaros la armadura y tal. Que va. Que va, que va. Es una matada. O sea, se tarda muchísimo. Se tarda muchísimo. O sea, se tarda como en el live, básicamente. Entonces está... O sea, es inviable. Minar en el live no te sirve para nada. Todo lo que tengas ahora minado es calidad 0. No te sirve para nada. Lo que sí te sirven son las reputaciones. Reputaciones sí. Por eso digo, voy a mirar a ver qué cosa puedo subir. Qué reputaciones puedo subir porque es lo que me interesa. El killshot se consigue con Bog también. Carnas CFP. Entonces sí, lo que me interesa es desbloquear eso. Luego está la armadura La Monde también, que es una armadura nueva que van a meter. Hay varias cosas, ¿vale? Hay varias cosas. A ver, reputaciones. Mm. Es la que queda, o sea, hacer esto. Hacer esto, hacer Gold Intersect en otro lado, hacer... No hay mucha alternativa. Sí, sí.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Repositioning. Get out here. Or shoot me. I'll keep them occupied. Just do something already. They're fucking vanished. Think we got company. Shit, missed. Let's track him down quick. How lucky can you be? Get the feeling like we got trouble. Why are you hiding? What the hell? People don't just disappear. Is this how you want to spend your final moments? How the hell did they get scared?
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Your insurance claim has been sent.
Se pierden.
Cowards hide. You're a coward. Scared.
Thank you. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Why are you hiding? Is this how you want to spend your final moments? Hiding, scared.
Todavía no está el RC. Me estoy equipando en realidad.
Is this how you want to spend your final moments? Hiding, scared. Guess he's nothing to worry about. Go out and play.
Quiero Omnisky del 4, joder. Y no tengo nada.
Cowards hide.
No tengo nada porque esta puta mierda se lo traga.
Scared.
Básicamente.
Why are you hiding?
Y entonces hay que joderse. Uf. Sí, efectivamente, Sholly. Sholly.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Look.
Vehicle selected. That your vehicle has been delivered. Please visit us again.
A ver, yo creo que va a ser una probadita, porque al final... a mí me joden el tema de que para poder craftear tengas que minar. Me toca las pelotas. Que no podamos encontrar las cosas de loteo también. Y desmantelar y todo eso. Pues la verdad que no me apetece minar, tío, con nave ni pollas para conseguir las cosas, pero no va a quedar de otra.
Landing gear up. Thank you for visiting. Safe travels.
Uf. Vale, está gente antes. Está gente.
Herbie,
Hola, ¿qué tal?
¿qué haces, nene? ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, aquí parece
Escúchame,
que
¿estás en PTU o en PU?
en live.
Estás en live. Escúchame, me pica el tobillo.
Buenas, gato. No, pero espectacularmente bien, ¿no?
Joder.
Cancelada la movida.
Bueno.
Gracias, Pupi.
Tía, ¿qué le pasa a esto, tío? Buah, tío. A ver si salimos de aquí, porque esto es la zona. Ves. Zonas del mapa que tienen una carga horrible, no sé por qué. O sea, eso se fue a la mierda.
¿Qué va? Tomar por culo la misión, chavales, no funciona. Qué horror, tío. Es una pasada, ¿eh? Que no funciona, tío. Joder. Que no funciona, es una pasada. Eso. Yo así con... Por lo menos estos combates, pillas otro y ya está, pero... Oye, chavales, a las 12 voy a planchar oreja. Me parece a mí. Venía a ver una serie o algo, no sé. Pero sí, estoy cansado. Es que ya estoy estirando porque no me quiero ir a la cama pronto. Sí, no. Bueno, son las 11 ya, ¿eh? Pero... Que había dormido creo que un par de horas. Más o menos. Un par de horas y media hora de siesta. Ese ha sido el cómputo. El cómputo global. O sea, mañana tenemos un sneak peek chulo, muy interesante. Curioso. Kozue. Kozue y Kiya en inglés. Y dice el spacing, como no. Ninguna de esas, yo creo que están rotas las misiones. Pues sí, que sí, chavales, voy a parar. Voy a parar a descansar, ¿vale? Ha sido un día muy largo, tío. Hemos hecho el SCL, nos hemos enchufado un ratito, pero voy a parar, chicos, porque estoy cansado. Estoy muy cansado hoy. Le estamos dando mañana, ¿vale? mañana tenemos miraremos el sneak peek. Supongo que con un poco de suerte saldrá web para todas las oleadas. Y a ver si para la semana tenemos el live ya. Yo la verdad que creo que mañana me pondré a subir un poquito de reputaciones, supongo, porque es algo que quiero hacer. Pero sí, se me cierran las persianas, chavales. No estoy para emitir. Lo dicho, chicos, gracias por pasarnos por aquí. Un saludo, Capitán Tatu, y a todos los que estéis por ahí. Disfrutar la noche, si estáis jugando que os sea leve. Y mañana mes. Besitos a todos. Hello. Descansa, chico.